Not yet. Anybody else is working? Hello. There we go. I think I've only done this once before, but I'm going to gavel the meeting to order. I'd like to call the Common Council Annual Organizational Meeting of Tuesday, April 19th to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Oh, excuse me. Could you rise and join with me to say the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Strelchuk?
Here.
Alderman Bushy?
Here.
Alderman Meyer?
Here.
Alderman Hancher?
Here.
Alderman Garrow?
Here.
Alderman Parrish?
Here.
Alderman Schneider?
Here.
Alderman Nervin?
Here.
And Mayor Wood.
Here. We have a quorum. I'm going to go a little bit out of order and have just a couple of comments. So I'd like to pass this out each direction. And if anybody wants one later, they can have it. Since this will be my last meeting. Yeah, excuse me. Hard day. What we do in these chambers is not the essence of city government. The real business of city government involves plowing and paving roads, catching the bad guys, putting out fires, conducting elections, mowing parks, assessing properties. Excuse me. I don't know why. Bearing pipe, inspecting properties, and all the other things the majority of city employees do on a daily basis. We should be both proud and grateful that all those things get done with relatively few complaints and relatively little input by this body. Mequon has great employees. But even in our supportive and secondary role, we have an obligation. We try to do things well. As you know, I'm always worried that the city does not get things done quickly enough. I was concerned that, particularly as a result of COVID, we didn't accomplish enough. So I put together a list of things the Common Council, with staff's guidance, accomplished over the past 3 years. It's an interesting read. There are 30 significant ordinance code changes. And damn, I'm not an emotional guy. And 118 other significant achievements. And the list doesn't include equipment purchases we approved, road projects, and all the other usual and ordinary customary business of this body. It was all done while the real work I listed before gets done. I'd like to highlight a few initiatives that I think have been most important. It is likely everyone here would make a slightly different list. Number one, the agreement to merge the Mequon and Thiensville Fire and Emergency Medical Services departments. Although that came together over the last 4 months, it's actually the culmination of at least 3 years' work, and the work by a lot of people, including some of you. The new conservation subdivision ordinance, which is something that they tried to do 20 years ago, and some of us killed, and it was the right thing to do to help preserve part of the west side. Rezoning of the Oleo Creek area. Number 4, planning for the Ozaki Interurban Trail crossing. Number 5, support for the police department, even while the world heaped criticism on cops. We added a second school resource officer, we added license plate cameras, and a new public safety IT coordinator. Number 6, we did a community development study, which I think will do well for us for years. Number 7, planning for the redevelopment and long-term success of the Port Washington Road business area. Hopefully that will be a sustained effort by this body. Number 8, multiple town center efforts, including working through the Foxtown development, helping to finalize Spur 16, planning for new public improvements, the Gateway sign, and the expansion of Settlers Park. Number 9, the citywide survey we did in 2019, which I forgot we even did during my term. And number 10, the informational technology study and upgrades. I think these efforts, assuming there's follow-through, will positively impact Mequon for generations. And we did all that while maneuvering through COVID with unanimity and more responsibly and with less disruption than most communities. You all should be proud of how much you accomplished, particularly in the face of the pandemic and during a time that the world just seemed angry. I don't think these were my accomplishments. They belong to the department heads and city employees who did most of the work, and this body and various committees. I thank all of you. But there needs to be follow-through on many of those issues. Behind the 3 pages of things I think we did, I attached my list of unfinished business. Maybe that list will be useful. That's up to you. And then I added a few other additional thoughts. I'd add 5 more thoughts. Number 1, you don't need to make new rules and restrictions to govern well. Most of what we did over the last 3 years added transparency and consistency, not new rules. The world has too many rules. Number 2, do whatever you can to enhance communication. The public appreciates it. Number 3, if you don't like a rule, change it. Don't just provide an exception or variance. We've had a tendency to do that. Government is better when there's less negotiating and more transparency and consistency. Number 4, long meetings are not better meetings. People thought these would be long when I got elected mayor, that they'd be longer. I tried not to make them that way. And number 5, while you may stay consistent to your principles, keep partisan politics out of City Hall. Serving as mayor has been the greatest honor. I expect I received more good than I put into it, but there's always, excuse me, what a wuss.
I'll second that.
There's always a true sense of accomplishment when you can do something for others. And I made many friends, including people in this room. I'm going to miss a lot of this. When I was first elected 21 years ago, I was in my 30s. And for a long time, I was the youngest alderman. Suddenly, that's no longer true. I've always tried to give 110%, and I shouldn't hang on when the rest of my life prevents that. I have committed to Mayor Nurbin that I'll stay out of things unless asked. I really will. Nobody wants the former guy hanging around second-guessing everything. I think that's wrong when they do it. It's not good government. However, if I can help in any way, please ask. I've enjoyed working with the people in this room. Thank you for working with me when you thought I was right, and for respectfully overruling me when you did not. Mostly thanks for your friendship and advice. As I said in the news graphic article, I want to thank Stacy and my daughters. I don't think the public realizes the commitment everybody makes. I could have worked more and made more money. I could have been around more evenings. But they patiently understood my need, gave me the freedom to work for this community I love. Boy, am I embarrassed. This is the best place to live, work, and play. I tried not to break it. I hope I had some positive impact. Again, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the report of the April 5, 2022 election results.
Thank you, Mayor. As you stated, we had a citywide election on April 5th. Up for re-election this year was Robert Strelchuk, who was in District 1, Jeffrey Hancher, District 4, and the seat of the city mayor. And Robert Strelchuk was elected District 1, Jeffrey Hancher, District 4, and Andrew Nurbin as the new City of Mequon mayor. All three will serve a 3-year term beginning tonight.
The next item, well, I don't think I handled the rest of this. Isn't this where they get sworn in? Oh. What? Well, go ahead. I don't swear them in.
Alderman Strelchuk?
Sure.
This is why.
Not me.
This is why you run for office. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. I, Robert J. Strelchuk,
I, Robert J. Strelchuk,
having been elected to the office of Alderman District 1,
having been elected to the office of Alderman District 1,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office
discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you. Please raise your right hand. I, Jeffrey Hancher,
I, Jeffrey Hancher,
having been elected to the office of Alderman District 4,
having been elected to the Alderman of District 4,
affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and
Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office
discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Raise your right hand. I, Andrew J. Nurbin,
I, Andrew J. Durbin,
having been elected to the office of mayor,
having been elected to the office of mayor,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office
discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
I'm keeping my gavel. And if somebody sent an email, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Before former Mayor Worth gets too far, as my first official act as mayor, I'd like to make a proclamation. So, proclamation in honor of John Worth. John Worth served honorably as alderman for District 4 from 2001 until 2013, and again from 2016 until 2019. Mr. Worth served as Common Council President from 2005 to 2006, 2012 to 2013, and again from 2018 to 2019. Mr. Worth was then elected as the 11th mayor of Mequon from 2019 to 2022. His 18 years of public service make him the fourth longest serving elected official. As alderman, Mr. Worth worked vigorously to keep taxes low, improve the quality of Mequon's roads, protect our quality of life, advocate for our police and fire departments, create a sense of community, and preserve the city's high standards for land use and development. Mr. Worth accepted assignments to various Common Council committees, including Public Safety, Public Works, Personnel and Finance, Public Welfare, the Planning Commission, and the Economic Development Board, among others. His service as alderman furthered the interests of all citizens of the city of Mequon. As mayor, Mr. Worth served as an instrumental leader in countless projects, some of which you heard about earlier, including establishment of a neighborhood commercial zoning district at Cedarburg and Donges Bay Roads, administration of the city of Mequon's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, initiating various public improvements towards completion of the Mequon Town Center, creation of the Uvaleo Creek zoning district, strengthening the Mequon Fire Department through the hiring of 4 command staff positions, and spearheading a merger with the Village of Thiensville to establish the Southern Ozaki Joint Fire and Emergency Medical Services Department. Mayor Worth gave unselfishly of his time and fulfilled his responsibilities to fellow citizens in a most professional, communicative, and responsible manner, and was instrumental in promoting the fair treatment of all individuals who live, work, visit, or do business in the city of Mequon. Mequon continues to be a great place to live, work, and play, and that is in part due to Mr. Worth's contributions to the city over his many, many years of tireless and dedicated service. Now, therefore, be it resolved on behalf of all citizens of the city of Mequon that the Common Council extends their heartfelt thanks to Citizen Worth, that they send their best wishes to John so he may continue his life adventures, and that today, April 19th, 2022, be proclaimed John Worth Day in recognition of the generous contributions he has made to the well-being of our community.
So nice.
Just in case.
So, would it be appropriate if we didn't send you away with a few assorted flavors of Monster Energy drink? Favorite of many meetings. Hopefully you don't need as many in the future.
Thank you. Give Grant the red.
And of course, key to the city, where you'll always have a place, no matter what.
Thank you.
And a taste of Mequon. There's several gift cards to local establishments, probably many of your personal favorites, so you can continue to enjoy
Very nice.
Mequon's fine restaurants, which you were a big proponent of. And last but not least,
Oh, it's wrapped too.
it's wrapped. You have to unwrap it. I won't spill the beans.
Feels like a sign.
It's your very own blue sign.
Rocky Town. Wow. Do I have to pay $250?
This one's
Only if you want to hang it up.
See it, John. Let's see it. Throw it around.
Very own blue sign.
Awesome. That's funny.
Keep it out of the right of way.
You know, I didn't really have a chance to veto that, but I would have. Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank you all.
well deserved.
Thanks.
Been a pleasure. Before we move on with the rest of the meeting, is there anyone who would like to address former Mayor Worth? Good.
Good job.
Who's going to carry it?
Don't forget your monster drinks. Don't you get your gift
should
wrap,
all hoist
gift wrap monster?
Got all that, John?
That might have been
So getting on with the rest of the agenda as written, we will now ask for nominations for Common Council President. So I'll open it up to the floor if anyone would like to make a nomination. Alderman Strelchek.
Hi, I listed as considering Common Council President. I'd like to remove my name from consideration due to some work constraints that have come up this year. Hopefully I'll be able to put my name in the hat for next year, and I'd like to nominate Brian Parrish.
second.
We got a motion and a second for Alderman Parrish. Are there any more nominations?
I nominate Dale Meyer.
Alderman Meyer. We don't need a second, do we?
No.
I don't think so.
I'll
no.
second it.
I'll
Yeah.
second it.
I don't think we do, but it's nice to have a
You only
second.
need it first. Yeah. But we'll give him a second because he's a good guy.
Are there any more nominations? Hearing none, we'll close nominations and move on to the election process. So do you want to give this is the only time we use the secret ballot because it's the only time we can. So everyone will vote and we'll tally up the votes, and I don't even think there can be a tie because I left a vacancy.
It's only gonna be one vote anyways. 7 people.
Yeah.
Somebody could be a real joker and they're staying us both.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Six, seven. One vote for Brian Parrish. Dale Meyer. Vote for Dale Meyer. Brian Parrish. Brian Parrish. Dale Meyer. So it's 3-3. And Brian Parrish makes 4-3.
Congratulations, Alderman Parrish. So there's 3 agenda items on the agenda that we typically do all at once. It's the nominations to the Planning Commission, Common Council, aldermanic representative appointments, and standing committees. Those are typically prescribed by the incoming Common Council President. I think I'll hand the mic over to our new Common Council President to announce his selections to those committees.
Thank you. I also want to thank my colleagues for giving me the opportunity to serve. I'm really looking forward to it. I just passed out a set of slates. I think you'll find that it generally met all of your prioritizations where we could. We did not have anyone who wanted to step up for Parks Board, so I took that on as the liaison. and I will be willing to serve as the temporary Economic Development Board liaison until we have a replacement. So, for District 8. Not sure else how to present this. I'd be happy to field any questions or if there's any concerns from my colleagues.
I think just for
You
the,
do need to have an alternate for planning commission?
yeah,
That would be me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't
Yep.
see that.
So the alternates
Okay.
are along the bottom.
oh, got it.
And so my thought for Alderman Schneider was that she's not, I'm the temporary for that one for now. So unless you want to go. So just because we're short staffed with aldermen. So I'll fill in some of the gaps there. I think it generally met everyone's preferences.
Okay, I think just for the record and for people watching at home, I'll read these off by committee. Finance and Personnel, Alderman Stralchek, Bushy, and Parrish. Public Safety, Aldermans Boucher, Girl, and Schneider. Alderwoman Schneider, sorry. Public Welfare, Alderman Meyer, Girl, and Alderwoman Schneider. Public Welfare, Alderman Meyer, Alderman Girl. Did I read that again?
Mhm.
Okay, well, it's an important committee, so I'll read it twice. Public Works, Alderman Meyer, Alderman Hansher, and the representative from District 8, the vacant seat. Planning Commission, Alderman Stralchek as the primary, Alderman Parrish as the alternate. Economic Development Board, held by the seat from District 8, but with Alderman Parrish as the temporary and Alderwoman Schneider as the alternate. Park and Open Space, Alderman Parrish, and Library Board, Alderman Hansher. I think that successfully takes care of the next 3 agenda items. So now we'll formally reconvene as the Common Council, and we'll take up the issue of the designated official city newspaper. So this is a customary thing we do every year. We're required by state law.
I think we still have to vote on this one.
Yeah, we do. We're gonna
Move to
just giving you the intro. We need this. We need to assign the state or the newspaper for the city to make our announcements. Are there any questions on staff recommendation? Looking for a motion to approve
Did we hear what it is?
the news graphic as the
I move to approve-
recommended city newspaper.
Move to approve the news graphic as the city news.
I'll second it. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. The next item, mayoral and aldermanic appointments. There's a list in the packet and another one in front of you. I think there's a couple of corrections from what was in the packet previously. Are there any comments or questions on those appointments?
Move approval as appointed.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 And the appointments are passed. Alderman Meyer, Alderman Girl, is there a motion you'd like to make?
Do we not need to approve
adjourn?
the
We gotta
committee
approve the
assignments?
committee.
Huh?
Committee assignments, we need to,
Approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the committee assignments as presented by
Oh, the
Common Council
assignments?
President Parrish.
Okay,
Second.
so motion and a second.
And that includes the, for also for the planning commission?
Correct.
Yes.
Items 7, 8, and 9.
Yep.
Sorry, I kind of glossed over that, didn't I?
Yeah, we want to make sure we get that done.
Yeah. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, would we like to make a motion, Alderman
I'd
Girl?
like to make a statement before the
Okay.
motion. Because I was told that we had an opportunity to say nice things about John Worth, and I don't want to miss the opportunity. No, I do want to say that John has done so much work behind the scenes, cleaning up language on ordinances, driving things forward, attending a lot of meetings, some of which will never really be acknowledged by the public. And I just want to acknowledge them now. Also, I would like to just say that John was a great mentor and teacher for me when I joined the council. He was really reached out and gave me the benefit of his experience. And I would also like to say that in spite of the fact that sometimes I disappointed or angered even John when I voted differently than he thought I should, he never held it against me. So.
Anyone else want to jump on the bandwagon? Alderman Hancher.
I said this to him before. He was the right person at the right time to lead this city, especially during the pandemic. And I'm grateful that he was there to lead our city, because he led it. His leadership helped us get through a very difficult time. And I appreciate all the hard effort he had done during that time, and I wanted to thank him.
Alderman Gierl.
I just wanted to say that with John Worth as mayor, as it was with Dan Abendroth, we all have our differences of opinion as aldermen, and we are able to speak our minds openly, and nobody really criticizes you. And if you don't vote the way somebody wants you to, you forget about it. That's just the way it goes. I think that this Common Council operates outstanding, even with the back and forth, when we vet stuff back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We all have our own opinions, but I would say that, the vast majority, probably 95% of the time, we come up with the right solution, and it's really, really well run. And that was way under Dan Abendroth and John Worth, and I'm sure it'll be under Mayor Nurbin. So for all of us, we work together really well, even though we have differences of opinion, and we have constituents that have different needs. When it comes to right down to it, I think this Common Council operates very, very well.
Alderman Parrish.
Everything we were thinking. First of all, the proclamation was beautifully stated, summed it up on our behalf. So thank you, Mayor Nurbin. And John, you're more of a man than I think a lot of us have met. You've been a great leader. I think the comments you said tonight were beautiful as well. And I know what you've done with some of the residents who had concerns and organizations, and you always just went above and beyond. You hand delivered proclamations to people. You love the job. You were so good at it. You put too much into it. 120%. And like I said at the last meeting, your legacy will be the fire department merger consolidation. So thank you for that.
Alderman Meyer.
John, we've sat next to each other for quite a few years as being aldermen together, and working with you as mayor has been a pure joy. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciated your counsel that you've given me on certain items on that. I won't miss the late night flyering for you for running for mayor, for running for alderman at 1 o'clock in the morning, or putting out yard signs in 3 foot of snow. But that was all part of the job, and appreciate the job you've done.
Alderman Stralchek.
John, what can we say? Your departing words with so much emotion showed the city how you not only loved everyone in it, cared about what happened, you cared about the outcomes, but you loved the job, you did the right thing. You always tried to. You always tried to make a decision moving forward. You took other people's thoughts into consideration, even if they didn't match your own. And you did what a leader should do. You enjoyed the office for what it was. You did your absolute best. You loved the job, and you always tried to do the right thing. Mirroring what Alderman Hancher said, I don't know that we would have gotten through the pandemic. It was a bumpy road. There were a lot of things that were unknowns that nobody had ever touched before. Without your leadership, I don't think that we would have gotten through it so smoothly. I still have people say that they're grateful that the pool is open, even though it wasn't crazy busy every day, but there were people that attended, and it was just nice to have one thing within the sense of community that you held open. You always fostered a sense of community, a sense of neighborhood, and a sense of oneness within council and the community during your leadership. And I appreciate the years of learning beside you and learning from you. So thank you for everything that you've done. You've inspired us all.
Alderman Boucher.
That's for last.
Didn't come prepared with much here, but thought that has entered my mind and has stayed with it from before I became alderman was on an issue that was taken up that the city staff presented several solutions to it. And I watched the debates go on, discussions, and you came up with one that was not on the paper there. And it was the one that ultimately everyone voted in favor of. And it's that out-of-box thinking that you're not necessarily have to see what's always in front of you and make a straight vote on that. That ability to step up and out is something that I think is a unique attribute that, as I said, I've mentioned to many people over the years. And the final thought, I think it's from Bilbo Baggins, that you're going on an adventure and you should enjoy it, and it should all be in good health and from strength to strength.
Thank you, everyone, for your comments. I think John deserved it. I know he deserved it.
One more
round of applause. And with that, Alderman Gill, is there a motion you'd like to make?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.